A small YouTuber discovering light. Doing YouTube as an introvert. Let's talk about that.
Let me describe him off the cuff. He's brilliant, he's singular, he's wildly uncomfortable with praise, so I can't wait to make him suck it up.
I don't really like talking about myself. So I'm going to talk about other people, if that's okay.
I feel like there's this big misconception that in order to succeed on YouTube or really any kind of on-stage performance, you have to be loud and explosive and constantly on. Basically, overall an extrovert. I was a victim of this idea for like 90% of my life. And if you're an introvert like me and you fell for this trap, we're gonna get out of there together. But first, let's clear things up, because being an introvert has absolutely nothing to do with being shy, not confident, or even like socially awkward. It's all about how you respond to social stimulation, basically. For example, I know that I feel the most alive and most confident and most capable of when I'm in quiet and low-key environments.
I was ready to go before we got here.
But that doesn't mean that I cannot enjoy every once in a while some loud parties, because these things are not absolutes. Second of all, it does not mean that you cannot be a successful performer. And to bring some facts to the table, I'm gonna tell you 3 celebs who are self-proclaimed introverts and they are just massive stars. We start with Beyonce, who needs no introduction at all. Next, Keanu Reeves, who in my opinion is the perfect example of quiet charisma and confidence. And finally, my favorite, Lady Gaga, who honestly...
Have you learnt like the hand signals to drive in New York?
Yeah, this one.
Lady Gaga. What I love about YouTube is that it is not a one-size-fits-all kind of platform. There are tons of people that come and look for pure entertainment, and that's okay. But there are also a ton of people that look for authenticity, value, connection, and this is all stuff where we thrive. Growing up and watching TV,
So 90s.
every time that an extrovert character was introduced, it was like gold standard, whereas introverts were always kind of less than. Some example that comes to mind is Katie Heron from Mean Girls, who is introduced as a very quiet and socially clueless character.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
And through the story, she becomes cool, kind of just by imitating the extroverts ones.
I'm voting for Katie Heron because she pushed her.
Another example for me is Bruce Banner from Marvel, who is a scientist, is very reserved, very timid kind of person, and it's like in the story he becomes interesting or even valuable just by becoming the Hulk.
Hulk.
Also, there's so much bias around introversion, like it's something that excludes confidence. But in my opinion, charisma is not about volume. It's about presence and connection and giving value. And this is all stuff that we are experts on. Like Linkin Park once said, I want to feel like I'm close to something real, and this is what I'm trying to build. So if you're an introvert and you're kind of thinking of giving YouTube a try, I would like to share some of my struggles, because these fears could be something that's popping into your head and holding you back currently. We start with the worst one, the fear of being seen. Now, I get it. You're an introvert, you don't want anybody's attention, and just the thought of people watching you and probably judging you is like pure hell. But here's the thing, you don't have to show your face if the feeling is overwhelming. You could start off with a faceless channel. I personally have debated this at the beginning, but down the line I knew that eventually I was gonna go for it. So my approach has been just let's get it over with, and I did it basically right away. And yes, it's been awkward, yes, it's been weird, but honestly with time it's not that big of a deal. Second, the fear of being too quiet. If you think that you have to be loud to be cool and this is what people want, but it's not who you are, just don't do it. Don't chase loud because you think that's what people want, because it's gonna feel unnatural to you and it's just gonna torture you to the point where you just drop off everything because you cannot withstand that stuff anymore. I think you should rather focus on forging genuine connection because volume is not the same as impact. The final one is feeling drained after filming. Doing this, it's gonna drain you out. There's no hiding it. And we all know that we need some quiet times to recharge, and that sometimes might not align with your filming schedule. So honestly, what I do is simply like batch film when I feel the most energized, so I don't feel like, guilty whenever I need like some time off. Please protect your downtime, because if you're gonna like push through because you think that you have to, it's gonna be just disruptive for the process because you're gonna feel drained out and you're not gonna want to do anything after that. So if after all of this you're still doubting yourself, you just stop and you go get yourself a YouTube channel, because I know that Lady Gaga wants you to and I want you to, okay?
Someday my dreams start